battle is going to be extremely crucial, as these expansions are just now getting fully underway, as well as the cannons just about to kind of be finishing here. So we do have War of the Worlds with a bunch of Colossus. I think that Kiwikaki has way more Colossus, and again, the concave is super important in this matchup, and that's exactly why Socke got completely destroyed. And so it does look like Socke opting for carriers as well as the mothership. You know the mothership is here because my computer lags every time it spawns, as the graphics are just too intense for me to handle. So Socke does love his carriers, as we have seen him get them before. And so here comes the battle right now. Now keep in mind that Void Ray is really good against carriers. The focus firing is there. So it's got to come down to if these Archons can protect the carriers or not. Now the Archons could quickly melt away though to all these Colossus, which I think they will all go down. And watch how quickly these Void Rays are able to kill the carriers. I say that, and then all of the Void Rays die. Flux Veins is done, so these are speed racers running in here. The mothership most likely going to go down, but he was able to vortex and actually going to be able to kill a couple of units here. Although he may actually use this vortex effectively because his Colossus are here. He can do the splash damage that he could potentially need. Gonna be hard to tell though, as when the vortex pops, all these units could die instantly, which is exactly what's gonna happen. Focus firing down, going down there, and so these units, now that they are out of the vortex, they are pissed. They are super mad, and Void Rays are going to be focusing down these carriers. Watch how quickly this expansion melts down to all of these Void Rays. Very rarely will you see this many Void Rays in a high-level battle, but Void Rays are good, man. You definitely do not want to underestimate them. Okay, I'm going to tell you why I'm nerding out about this build. Okay, the problem with 4-gate in Protoss versus Protoss is that you can never get up the ramp. But why get up the ramp when you can have a Warp Prism to warp everything in? And so this 4-gate's going to kick in right... Oh, this is awesome! I'm having so much fun already. So, okay, so what he's got to do is activate this and summon in a bunch of units, and then you can also unload your units out of the Warp Prism, although I think he may have powered that a little too quickly. He needs to back up. Don't want to reveal those zealots just yet, but he is going to anyways. This is such a genius build, because the one thing I hate about 4-gate and Protoss versus Protoss is that you can never get up their ramp. But now WhiteRa says, screw it, we are going with a Warp Prism in here, so this is absolutely awesome. But Blink is done if he micros correctly, could be doing a lot of damage. However, there are so many zealots here, and you got to remember that NexGenius actually isn't going to be mining from his base right now, although he is doing a good job killing these zealots. Could micro a little bit better, I think, to keep more of these stalkers alive. Really, he shouldn't be losing any stalkers here, but he is indeed. Well, I guess he could lose some there. But look at this, the pros are streaming to their doom into these zealots. I think WhiteRa is just going to get a free win here. Talk about an extremely awesome build, and every single probe has almost gone down. There's only 4 remaining.
Looks like Huck's actually going to take that forward. Looks like Huck might actually charge up this ramp, and he's actually going to blink up. I'm not sure he has enough. Does he have enough to break a huge encounter, ladies and gentlemen? Colossi coming up, burning everything, but the Colossi count is still quite high, but the remainder of the army not quite enough, and IdrA holds momentarily, and Huck, but luckily for Huck, he can reinforce his army quite quickly with the number of warp gates he has. Looks like there is a bit of an encounter. IdrA's gonna go for it, or Huck's gonna go for it, excuse me. Storming everywhere, red and yellow and orange HP, but he still somehow gets forced back, but he didn't lose the backbone of his army again. Now he can just wait to reinforce his army, and still IdrA can't climb down this ramp, because with the help of Force Field and the help of those Colossi, they would just burn through anything that Zerg could throw at him. So Zerg in a tough situation right now. IdrA might have met his match, surprisingly. Huck is playing this brilliant. He is gonna get encountered. Whoa, nice blink stalkers, and these Colossi are gonna fry IdrA's army. IdrA might indeed just fall to Huck here, desperately trying to fight with the help of his spine crawlers, and he looks like he's gonna back off momentarily, maybe to get some more storm in the army here. But IdrA in a bundle of trouble, and I would say to IdrA, this was smart play, ladies and gentlemen. Not Imba, none of that. Protoss has been having, oh wow, Ruffle. He knows this game is so over. I'm interested to see if he's gonna GG here. Infamous play here from IdrA, infamous trash talking, and Huck can have no part of it, not gonna say anything. He's just gonna burn through his opponent. Oh, fuck this game. Or wait, I shouldn't say that.
I actually think that both teams are probably going to macro up, and we're probably going to see some kind of long-term macro game. Although, hey, this is kind of weird. Jinro is grabbing both the expansions. What do you think this is all about, Husky?
I think what they're going to do here, and I've seen this before, this could also explain why TLO chose Protoss, is basically the Terran players, we all know they get mules, and basically I think what Jinro's doing is he's double expanding inside the main. He's going to shovel all of his money right into the mouth of the little one. The little one going to throw down a ridiculous amount of gateways, and they'll probably try and push out once the little one gets 200 army.
But Artosis is going to be very surprised when he sees this army pushing out. Now it is beginning to move its its way across the map, and the enemy team definitely knows that this is coming. Look at how many Zealots and Stalkers and Sentry this is. 9 minutes into the game, this is absolutely insane. It's the little one now revealing his hand and finally revealing his strategy. I think QXE and Artosis probably are scratching their head like, what the heck is going on? This is a massive Protoss army, and these Corruptors not going to be able to do anything. QXE trying to micro for desperation's sake, but it's just not going to happen. The little one has so many forces, and look at that. He's placed a proxy pylon down to warp in more units. This is like some kind of a 10-gate build. Look at how many gateways he has inside his main base. This is absolutely insane.
Definitely a unique build here from the Liquid team.
Carriers now out of position, trying to finish out the rest of these Vikings, and now taking a look at the unit combination, there's only one Viking left. So with only one Viking left, I'm believing the Psystorm was able to take down a lot of these units, and now these carriers are going to be able to just eat through this whole entire army very, very easily. Production-wise, 4 Vikings now trying to be trained up, but there are so many carriers here that is going to be fairly difficult. These carriers now perhaps will be able to get off a couple quick shots. Stalkers now in position to try to fend them off. Really great carrier micros so far, as another carrier now joining the fleet. Both sides of the army now starting to even out a little bit further, and now in come those Vikings. Vikings, however, now being forced to push back, does not want to fall prey to a Psystorm. Those Vikings are really, really grouping together a little bit much. As these carriers are able to start dwindling this army, back and forth this fight goes. Vikings unable to really get any attack off over there as they continue to fight. Are they going to be able to do anything? Siege tanks now getting destroyed as they're trying to siege. And this expansion over here that GoOdy was trying to use and trying to absorb, and GoOdy now in a serious trouble. It looks as though Hasu was able to take down those earlier Vikings and then be able to continue to press. And these army of carriers, even though there are just 5 carriers dealing so much damage since they're upgraded 3-0.
Get ready for an attack that could be coming up here from Nazgul, building a pylon, a support pylon right there by that Xel'Naga tower. Very good play. And Blink, wow, blinking up onto that. I'm surprised you can do that. That is pretty amazing. I'm not sure how he did that, but he's allowed to do that. I'm not sure if that's going to be there in future games or not. But IdrA now coming up into the upper field here, and Nazgul just blinking up and down. Really good micro there, getting what he can out and in, and now going to start going and attacking this expansion, starting to push into IdrA's expansion. Queen coming up, and again, nice micro there by Nazgul. He's been practicing this very well. These roaches going ever so sluggishly, and Nazgul just pushing up, just starting to attack in this expansion. Certainly he's not able to do any kind of surround. We do see enough red here, but GG from IdrA. He knows he can't do anything.
All the drones, massive amounts of drones getting in the game right now, trying to tank it up, and now they're getting the surround on these Stalkers. Meanwhile, those Speedlings we were talking about earlier, at the natural expansion of DuckloadRa, did get taken down by a photon cannon. A few force fields going down right now, splitting up those drones. This is their worst nightmare. They're just kind of packed in a corner here, just getting completely annihilated, if that's even a word, which I know it's not. And these sentries getting up in the game.
You see he came around the circle here, and those static defenses are now gone.
Oh gosh, Adver moving everything he has over to DuckloadRa's base, while DuckloadRa is moving everything he has over to Adver's base. I can't pronounce that word for some reason. Oh my god, absolute devastation. Moving over to the natural expansion of DuckloadRa. He just has a bazillion drones in here using their claws, claw, bite, and these Hydralisks are getting in the game, trying to kill as many workers as they can. DuckloadRa warping in these Stalkers here at his base, using his probes as tanks. Meanwhile, from the other side, here comes in the main force. Oh no, Adver completely pincered in. This dispersion bubble, reducing all range damage from Adver's units. He's getting rocked from both sides. I think DuckloadRa is definitely going to come out on top here as he's just focusing down these units. Adver now GG's, and DuckloadRa takes down another game. That's why he gets paid to do this, ladies and gentlemen.
But he is going to get some free Overlord kills here, which should supply block his opponent, or at least get it fairly close. Here comes the attack right now, but there are no force fields here to split this army in half. That would have been an ideal situation. He's got to try and blink over here and run into the Zerg's base, trying to go for that hatchery. I don't know if he's going to actually be able to get it, but he is going to do everything he can with these Stalkers, trying to focus it down as quickly as he can. With good micro here, he could actually get a transfusion going down on the hatchery to try and save it, and he is going to get that hatchery, and then he is going to mass recall out of there, almost like it was a Scroll of Town portal from Warcraft 3. Where's that mothership, baby? There it is, able to save those. But at the same time, there is going to be an epic battle down here right now, as the roaches are going to get split in half here, although about a third of them are on the, or 2/3 are on the right side, doing as much damage as possible. There is an Overseer here to spot this, and one Hydralisk saying it's getting too hot, as it did get roasted away there.